Continuing the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, we are starting chapter 18 today, the conversations with Prakashananda. According to the principles of Mayavadi sannyasis, singing, dancing, and playing on musical instruments are strictly prohibited. They are called three kinds of sinful activities. The Mayavadi sannyasi is supposed to engage his valuable time simply in the matter of Vedanta study. When the Mayavadi sannyasi in Benares saw the Lord Chaitanya was indulging in singing, dancing, playing musical instrument, and always chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. They concluded that this sannyasi was not educated, and out of sentiment, he was misleading some of the followers. Shankaracharya has said that a sannyasi should always be engaged in studying Vedanta and should be satisfied simply having one cloth and nothing more. Lord Chaitanya was neither studying Vedanta in formality nor did he cease from singing and dancing. And so he was criticized by all the sannyasis at Benares, as well as their household followers. Lord Chaitanya got this news from his students and disciples, and when he heard that they were all criticizing him, he simply smiled and started for Madura and Vrindavan. But he came back again to Benares on his way to Jagannath Puri from Madura. When he came back to Benares, he stayed at the house of Chandrasekhar, who was considered a Shudra because he was a clerk. In spite of Shekhar being a Shudra, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made his residential quarter at his place. Lord Chaitanya made so much distinction between Brahmana and Shudra, anyone devoted. He accepted customarily a sannyasi is supposed to take shelter in the house of Brahmana or eat at the house of Brahmana. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a independent supreme personality of God, had he had his own discretion and he decided to stay at Chandrasekhar's house. In those days, by misuse of Brahmanical hereditary principle, the Brahmanas made it a law that anyone who was not born of Brahmana family was a Shudra. So even the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas were also called Shudra. Vaishyas are supposed to the descendants of Brahmana fathers and Sudra wives, and therefore they are sometimes called Sudra. So Chandrasekhar Acharya, although born of a Vaidya family, I think his Vaishya family, was called at Benares a Shudra. As long as Lord Chaitanya stayed at Benares, he stayed at Chandrasekhar's apartment, and he used to take his food at the place of Tapan Mishra. When Sanatana Goswami met Lord Chaitanya at Benares, he learned from Lord Chaitanya the process and principles of devotional service during 2 months of continuous teaching. The Lord Chaitanya's teaching, the instructions of Lord Chaitanya to Sanatana Goswami have been described in our first part of Lord Chaitanya's teachings. After the teaching, Sanatana Goswami was authorized to propagate the principles of devotional service and Srimad Bhagavatam. But during this time, both Tapar Mishra and Chandrasekhar Acharya were feeling very sorry about strong criticism against Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they came together and prayed for the Lord to meet the Mayavadi sannyasis. The informed Lord Chaitanya, we have been mortified by hearing unfavorable criticism from the Mayavadi sannyasis against you. It has become intolerable for us. They requested he do something so that these criticisms would be stopped. While they were discussing the criticism of Mayavadi sannyasis, a Brahmana came to the Lord Chaitanya and invited him. As he had invited all other sannyasis to his place, only Chaitanya had not been invited. So he now had come to invite him. He knew that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not mix with the Mayavadi sannyasis. Therefore, he fell down at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feet and implored him. Although I know that you don't accept such invitation, still it is in my request, please come and take prasadam at my place with other sannyasis. If you accept this invitation, it will be considered a special favor to me. The Lord took this opportunity and accepted the invitation of the Brahmana in order to meet the Mayavadi sannyasis. It was practically an arrangement made by the Lord himself. The Brahmana who invited him knew that Lord Chaitanya did not accept any invitation, but still He was very eager to invite him. The next day, Lord Chaitanya went to the house of the Brahmana. He saw that all the Mayavadi sannyasis were sitting there. He offered his respect to all the sannyasis as usual, and then he went to wash his feet. After washing his feet, he sat down at the spot not amongst the Mayavadi sannyasis, but in the place where water was kept for washing the feet. While he was sitting there, the other sannyasi saw a glaring effulgence emanating from his body. All the Mayavadi sannyasis were attracted by this glaring effulgence, and they stood up and showed him respect. Among them, there was one sannyasi whose name was Prakashananda Saraswati. He was the chief among all the impersonalist sannyasis, and he addressed Lord Chaitanya with great humility and asked him to come and sit amongst them. He said, "My dear sir, why are you sitting in the filthy place? Please come sit with us." I think this is the picture showing. So Lord Chaitanya meets the Prakashananda Saraswati at Benares. Lord Chaitanya replied, "Oh, I belong to an inferior sect of sannyasis. Therefore, I think I should not sit with you. Let me sit down here." Prakashananda Saraswati was surprised to hear such a thing from such a learned man, and he actually took his hand and requested him to please come and sit down with him. Lord Chaitanya was seated, and Prakashananda Saraswati inquired, "I think your name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and I understand that you belong to our Mayavadi sect because you have taken your sannyasi from Keshava Bharati, who belongs to the Shankara Sampradaya. According to the Shankara sect, there are 10 different names of sannyasis. Out of them, the three names, Tirtha, Ashram, and Saraswati, are considered to be the most enlightened and cultured among the sannyasis. Lord Chaitanya was a Vaishnava, therefore, naturally, he was humble and meek, and he wanted to give the better place to Prakashananda, who belonged to Saraswati Sampradaya. According to Shankara principles, a disciple a disciple of Bharatic school is called Chaitanya. But Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he took sannyasi, kept his brahmachari name without the title Bharati. Prakashananda Saraswati inquired from Lord Chaitanya, "Well, sir, you belong to our Shankara sect and you are living at Benares. Why don't you mix with us? What is the reason? Another thing, you are a sannyasi. You are supposed to engage your time simply in Vedanta study. But we see that instead of doing that, you are always engaged in chanting, dancing, and playing on the musical instruments. What are the reasons? Emotional and sentimental people do these things. But you are a qualified sannyasi. Why should you not engage yourself in the study of Vedanta? By your effulgence, it appears to us that you are just like the Supreme Narayana, the personality of Godhead. But your behavior appears to be otherwise. So we're inquisitive to know what are the reasons. Lord Chaitanya replied, "My dear sir, I may inform you that my spiritual master saw me as a great fool, and therefore he more or less punished me, said that because I am such a fool, I have no jurisdiction in the study of Vedanta. So he kindly gave me the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. My spiritual master told me, you go on chanting this Krishna mantra and it will make you all perfect. Actually, Lord Chaitanya was neither a fool nor ignorant of the principles of Vedanta, but his purpose was to demonstrate to modern society that fools who have no penance and austerity behind them and simply for some recreational purpose want to study Vedanta, that is not recommended. In his Sishtastaka, Lord Chaitanya said that one should be in a humble state of mind, should think of himself as lower than the grass on the street, more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all false sense prestige and ready to offer all kinds of respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant Vedanta philosophy or the holy name of the Lord constantly. He also wanted to teach that a serious student of transcendental science should follow exactly the words of the spiritual master. According to the calculation of spiritual master, Lord Chaitanya appeared to be fool. So he said that he should not indulge in the study of Vedanta, but should go on chanting the Krishna mantra. Therefore, he strictly obeyed. In the other words, Lord Chaitanya impressed the Maya and the Mayavadis that the words of bona fide spiritual master must be strictly followed that would make one perfect in all respects. I think I can stop here. So yeah, this chapter titled, meeting of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, conversation with Prakashananda, and I think here we read in the first few paragraphs, principles of Mayavadi sannyasis, you know, uh, uh, like singing, dancing, and playing his musical instruments are prohibited. So they call these three things as a sinful activities. But when this Mayavadi sannyasi in Benares saw Lord Chaitanya, he was doing all these three things: singing, dancing, and playing, and chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So So they were thinking that he did it, the sannyasi was not educated. He was doing out of sentiment, and also Lord Chaitanya uh, coming back from Madura, on the way to Jagannath Puri, he came back to Benares and stayed at the place of Chandrasekhar. Even though he was considered Shudra, but Lord Chaitanya made no distinction between Brahmanas or Shudras, but he just accepted anyone is devoted. And when South Sanatana Goswami met Lord Chaitanya at Benares, he learned the principles of devotional service and process from Lord Chaitanya, in the 2 months of continuous teaching. And during that time, all this Mayavadi sannyasis, having a gathering, and they took opportunity to invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has accepted the invitation to meet the Mayavadis, sannyasis, and it says that it's a pre-arrangement by Lord himself. And that's where he met the Prakashananda Saraswati. He was the chief amongst the impersonalist sannyasis, and Mahaprabhu, washed his feet and sit next to the water where the sannyasis were washing their feet. So so that is the simplicity and humbleness of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Prakashananda Saraswati, and all the sannyasis saw that bodily effulgence coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they thought he's not an ordinary person. Everybody has respected him, and Chaitanya Prakashananda Saraswati wanted Maharaj Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come and sit next to him. So they were asking, why, you know, uh, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also belonged to this Mayavadi sannyasi. They wanted to know what are the reasons, why his behavior is appearing differently. He's not, reading the Vedanta Sutra and being sentimentalist kind of thing. Then for that, Lord Chaitanya replied that, my dear sir, I may inform you that my spiritual master saw me as a great fool, and therefore he more or less punished me and said, because I am such a fool, I have no jurisdiction in the study of Vedanta, so he kindly gave me chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that is the reason, I go on chanting this Krishna mantra, and it will make you all perfect. I think that's the teachings. I think the same thing was, told referenced by Shama Sundar Prabhu yesterday as well. So I think with this we can conclude today, and we can go to chanting and continue from